G'day, everybody. Welcome back after a week off to the Ball Logic NBA SuperCoach podcast. I'm your host, Braino, and we've got Horse and Mattrix. Full team lineup here to bring you the Week 8 preview after a week off. But we should talk about last week, Horse. You've got the crown again. You don't have the hat backwards, but you got the crown again. 12:53, mate. Talk to us about last week.
Yeah, it was a good week. I was lucky that you kept Kevin Porter Jr. on your bench. So I think, yeah, we take it. But as we can see, Matty just reaching into the fridge and grabbing another stubby. Yeah, the ranks is what is pleasing for us. Not just my rank, but for yourself. Up into well inside the top 1K now. And even Matty steaming back from a fair way back now inside the top 2K.
Yeah, look, 600 isn't where I want to be. But at the same time, I had a pretty good week last week, 1247, and I had Nembhard and KPJ on my bench there. So, no dice there, unfortunately. But team value is up to 200 mil. So I'm pretty happy about the team value, and I'm the only one on this podcast I just realised that doesn't have a beer, which is just poor. I'll need to sort that out for next week. Yeah, I'll sort that out for next week. I'll be on holidays next week as well, by the way. So, we could just cut loose for a week and see how we go. But Matty, how'd you go, mate? 11-16. Talk to us.
Yeah, pretty ordinary. I don't know. Like I moved heaven and earth to bring in Giannis. So give me 100 from Giannis, and I'm honestly right in the mix. I played Kevin Porter Jr. Found a way to keep Cade Cunningham instead of Anthony Edwards, which worked out well. Like just kept your Josh Giddys and Pascal Siakams and your Scotty Barnes and played Cooper. Like I'm never going to be mad about like playing Cooper flag instead of a Derek Queen, or, I lost a few extra points playing, Jeremiah Fears over VJ Edgecombe and some blokes like that. Like, honestly, like apart from Giannis getting injured, honestly feel pretty good about my week. And to only I've been away for a couple of weeks, obviously. But I had a really good week last week and then got a few little red arrows this week. But I feel like Giannis getting injured in the first game and only losing 150 spots, I'm feeling pretty positive about my season, to be honest. So
I was going to say that's tough because like our scores, the difference between your score and our scores is one primo really on a 4-game week.
Yep.
And that was Giannis. So at the end of the day, you can't really look into that too much. It'll be too hard on yourself. Trades-wise, what did I do last week? It feels like so long ago. It was only like 8 days ago. I got Kevin Porter Jr. in and Nembhard in. I got Josh Hart in as well. Josh Hart was okay without being amazing. And KPJ was just awesome. So I'm pretty pumped about KPJ and Ryan Nembhard at 3.5 mil, putting up a 98 in a 4-game week was elite. I got Anthony Edwards. So that'll be something we'll be talking about, I'm sure, on tonight's show is Anthony Edwards. And we've got a lot of other stuff to cover on the show in terms of trade targets, captaincy, what to do with the 2-game week versus 3-game week players this week. We'll tackle all of that and more. If you do want to support the show, guys, hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up, and hit the hype button. Get it out to more people for us. We'd really appreciate that. Those of you listening on audio, whether it's Spotify or Apple Podcasts, give it a 5-star review. Click that little follow button so you don't miss any of our future shows, and it's great to see all the cricket fans in the chat letting us know that Tim Seifert just got a ton. NBA people won't really care, but us BBL folk, and sadly not in my SuperCoach team. I must admit, Mattrix, go for it.
Can I cut in? Can I tell you about how good my BBL SuperCoach name is?
Go on.
Sweet Chin Music.
I kind of like it. It's like a cross between WWE and BBL. So I like it. I'm with you on it. And also, I must say, I was about to say, I have a newfound appreciation for you because managing 2 different sports at the same time is quite a challenge, and it's the first time I've had to do it. And it could be 3 different sports very soon. I tell you what, it's not easy. Lucky we've got a good community that makes it fun.
It's been a long couple of years, so enjoy the ride, champ.
Yeah. Thanks. Champs me fucking 5 minutes into the episode. I might just fucking mute you for the rest of the show. That'll do. Guys, Ball Logic Unlimited League winner for this week. It is Luka Magic with 7 sevens there for some reason. 1287 was the score in this one. I'm going to quickly get the team up because I'm interested to see what that looked like. 7 sevens. That's interesting. Luka Magic. Preston. Shout out to Preston. Well done, mate. You've won the week. You've won yourself a Standard Squeeze prize pack. So make sure to hit us up wherever it is that you follow us and we'll get that sorted for you. He had Cade Cunningham, VC, Josh Giddey, Ant Edwards, Don Mitchell, Captain Jokic. I think everybody did. Jalen Johnson, Scotty Barnes, Derek Queen on field, Denny Avdia, and Jay Huff. So a very, very good week there from Luka Magic 7777777. Great team. Great team name.
So another funny thing, you would have been like stressing your ass out having to play Derek Queen on the field after the week he had before, and it's just projectile vomited him amongst his competition. That was unreal.
Yeah. Good on him. And that last game, was elite from him. What, he got 51 in that last game? It's fucking crazy. 30-point triple-double or something.
30-point triple-double, yeah. It's unreal. Yes,
he's
Queen.
A freak. Yeah, last week we'll claim it. We said to hold on the show. So I'm really hoping that people held on. If you didn't, we'll talk about maybe you might have to buy him back. We'll see. We'll see how we go. But let's have a chat about who is hot this year, because we didn't really talk about last week. We'll talk about who's been hot this year so far. This is why I'm hot. Some big names on here, Horse, to start things off, mate. It's the obvious ones, of course. It's Jokic, Doncic, Wemby, SGA, Giannis. They're the top five. They're all averaging more than 35 points a game, and I think if you're at the top of the rank, as you are, mate, you're in 7th. I'm assuming that you've had all of these guys at different points throughout the year?
I've owned all of them at some stage, but only currently have one. So let's just pick apart this for a second. Nikola Jokic, right? 45.5 SuperCoach points per game this year. He is, 7 points per game clear of second? This should in itself detail to you how important it is to not only purchase this man, but also keep this man in your squads for the remainder of the year. Even an ordinary game by his standards is a good game by other people's standards.
100%. I think a lot of people, or maybe there'll be some people out there, Matty, that are a little bit thrown by the schedule this week, knowing that we've got a pretty short week coming up. Games for SuperCoach don't count until Thursday this week. So we're, of course, recording this on a Monday night, but Jokic will have 2 games this week. Instead, I think people may be looking at it thinking he had 1. He definitely has 2 games this week, which means he's a very, very safe hold, and I guess potentially even a captain on a 2-game week as opposed to a 3. How do you feel about him?
I said I'll never captain someone on a 3-game week. I lied. I'll captain someone on a 3-game week this week. But I still don't think I can do 2. That's just not the way I live my life.
I will not be captaining Jokic this week. I will be finding a 3-game week guy because I just feel like the damage that he can do between the 3rd and 4th game seems to be larger than the damage he can do between the 2 and 3. So I'll take a punt on a high upside guy that is playing 3 this week. There are 10 teams on the 3-game week we'll talk about very soon. Giannis is injured at the moment as well, Horse, so not exactly ideal for Giannis, and I guess that probably means maybe even it's good things for KPJ and it's good things for Ryan Rollins, at least short term.
Oh, definitely. KPJ, if you don't have him, he's got to be your number 1 trade target this week.
Matty, the bottom tier of this top 10 of the hottest players this year, it's Jalen Johnson, Tyrese Maxey, Cade Cunningham, Alperen Şengün, and Austin Reeves. These guys are the guys, I guess, that are probably going to catapult you up the ranks. As that, I think we could all consider them pods potentially to start the year in different spots, and now they're obviously in the top 10 scoring. Any of these guys you consider a must-have for the run home, at least?
Not really, just because this form of SuperCoach is so schedule dependent. And with the max trades, it's probably all of these guys. I would be happy to own any of these guys on a 3-game week this week or a 4-game week in any other week. And these are the guys that I've found myself maneuvering between, going a Tyrese Maxey to an Austin Reeves if, LeBron and Luka don't seem to be playing or getting a, I haven't owned Şengün and I don't think any of us would have, but I'm just waiting for that schedule to open because you watch him play and he is great. But look, Jalen Johnson again, I reckon if you look at the last 3 weeks that this looks closer to 40 per game. because he's just like with Trae Young injured, he's just catapulted up. It's a fucking like if you told me at the start of the year that Austin Reeves and Jalen Johnson would be in the top 10, I would have called you a liar.
Completely agree. Horse, it's JJ has been probably the standout of this list, but let's not write off Tyrese Maxey and how good he's been this year.
Oh, he's been unbelievable. For someone who, I guess, has been an afterthought of the Philadelphia 76ers lineup, like it's all about Embiid and trusting the process, and there's 110 million tied up in just Paul George and Joel Embiid alone, that Maxey at 6 foot fuck all can often be overlooked. But his game this year has been exceptional. He's a first rounder when we're talking NBA fantasy, but also in SuperCoach. What is he? 7th overall at the moment. He's been awesome this year, and when that schedule does come together and he gets a few more 4-game weeks together, I'll definitely be looking at him again. But this week we're going to get spicy.
Oh, there you go. You're going to find out in the Patreon. So for anybody who wants to see Horse's spicy trades from 7th rank, hop in there. It's less than $10 a month. Link is in the description. Let's have a chat about who's been cold so far this year. First one, LeBron James averages 19 SuperCoach points per game. He's already lost $2 million. Matty, is the time past of SuperCoach relevance for LeBron James?
Yeah, it's father time caught up. And, like, that's cool. Like, and I do think that he's the sort of player that will increase his minutes and play a hell of a lot come finals time. But, like, he's just going to cruise, get himself into a playoff position and get in there. But the torch has passed to Luka now. We're seeing Luka and Austin Reeves in the top 10 and LeBron not. This is like such an interesting Lakers team. And I've probably talked on it more about in our NBA fantasy shows that like there's like 3 relevant players on this team. And like, yeah, I've held Rui all year as like my last or second last guy. But like, you just need 3 people on this team and they're doing all the damage. It's such a top-heavy team. And, like, yeah, they're paying LeBron a metric fuck ton, but that's to sell jerseys, not to get out there and score SuperCoach points.
It's true. It's very true. Yeah, definitely not an option this year. Trae Young, of course, not an option as well. He's averaging 17 points. He's played 5 games this year, so it's not anything to kind of look into too much. He'll be better when he gets back. But I'm going to forgive Trae for letting Jalen Johnson be so good. So 100%. we can forgive him. Cam Johnson, he's been poo-poo horse. Averages 12 points. He's lost $2.7 million to start. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, he started to come to life a little bit for the Nuggets now over the last, 3-week period. But I'll tell you what, before he got injured, he was putrid. There was just a shell of himself.
Back to Phoenix Suns, Cameron Johnson. Yeah, so we're not looking there.
No, not a chance. Some other shockers this year so far. Mattrix, 16.7 SuperCoach points per game. How do you feel as a Memphis fan about Ja Morant? What do you want to happen here in this scenario? Because he looks unhappy. Memphis just look unhappy in general. We may as well throw his teammate in here, Jaren Jackson Jr., who's also averaging 17 points per game. Like, both of them are underperforming. So what do you want to happen here in this scenario?
The coach to be fired. I look at like the rotations when it comes to this, and I just don't think Thomas Isolo's got it. Like, man, like when Jar's cooking, like he'll just go sit him or play him 28 minutes in a game. Like, that's not NBA basketball. That's EuroLeague. That's where he has coached in the past. It's great because I have been targeting some of these lower guys. That have been stepping up, but man, like I just want the coach gone. Like in the chat, everyone's like JJJ, the biggest drop off this season. Been coached poorly. Like the man just needs to be given his role. And like Zach Edey was a revelation because the coaching allowed a big burly center the way that it's been structured. Like, man, like if they're not moving the coach, then they're moving Ja, and I'll be really sad if they move Ja because I genuinely think it's a coaching issue.
Yeah, I think a lot of people will tend to agree with you on that one. Everyone's so used to Jaren Jackson Jr. also being the guy. I mean, he was the guy last year, and he was great in patches when there was no Edie and no Jar, and he could cook and he had the usage. But this year he's had that opportunity, and it just hasn't happened. And you're probably right. The only their differential is the coaching. To a certain degree. D'Lo has also been poor. We were pretty high on him in the preseason, and he's just dropped out of the rotation completely now with Ryan Nembhard and Brandon Williams coming into Dallas.
I think we were high on the point guard that was going to win out and play the big minutes. And if that was D'Lo, then you were cool. But like we were kind of cool with Brandon Williams at times, and now Ryan Nembhard seems to have won the spot. Like it's just you need a point guard in Dallas, so you just want him,
you do.
Right? And like I missed out on Ryan Nembhard last week. I want him this week with that huge break even.
Yeah, we'll be talking about him. Negative break even. We'll be talking about him very soon, that's for sure. He will headline the trade section, I am certainly sure of that. And Isaiah Jackson, Horse, he's been pretty quiet as well. I'll put my hand up on this one. I was really excited about Isaiah Jackson coming back from that Achilles, and of course it took him some time to get back into his work, and we started to see flashes of good stuff from him in different spots. But Jay Huff has been the guy that's gone, move aside, fella. This is my role. Was averaging like 2.7 blocks a game and telling everybody else, fuck no, every time he blocks their shot. That's what I'm here for.
And he averages more blocks a game than Wemby this year.
There you go. What a man. I mean, I think that'll change pretty quickly based on what we've seen from Wemby, even in the game he came back off the bench there. But again, they're the letdowns this year, sadly. We can't name them all because there are plenty, but of course we're here to have a chat about what week 8 looks like. So let's go into and have a look at whether I can find it or not. Let's have a look at the injuries for this week. They're all over the place today. I'm going to sort that out. Poor preparation from me. Injuries. Let's have a chat about them, guys. It's Anthony Edwards day-to-day at the moment. Horse is the first one, and of course very relevant from a SuperCoach perspective because he was popular purchase last week. Talk to us about this injury first of all. It's a foot injury, isn't it?
It is a foot injury, and as an owner, it scares the fuck out of me. So I learnt in a previous podcast I did with Dr. Nathan Brain that the foot is the place in the body where the least amount of blood flow goes through. You learn something new every day, ladies and gentlemen, which inevitably means that it's the slowest part of the body to heal. So when you're talking about a foot injury and an explosive athlete and the fact that he's missed 2 games, and a T-Wolves representative came out today and said they've got 5 games in 13 days. They're looking to give him some rest during this fairly quiet period. I think he's going to miss some games here.
Every chance he sits, which means that he's probably a trade out potentially. Like if you're picking him up, I definitely wouldn't buy him this week, and I'd be teetering on the edge of selling him. Mattrix, like, what are you an Anthony Edwards owner at this point?
Nah.
So you'd be stoked.
I don't own him. It was either him or Cade, and I could save a trade and keep Cade last week. And last week. I don't even know what day of the week it is at the moment with all this these weird schedule chats. But that's why people listen to the podcast. No, yeah, last round. It was basically keep Cade instead of Anthony Edwards. I didn't need the money, so I'm glad I don't have to make that decision because I also think I would toy with keeping him. But like if he misses a game, like especially for horse ranked 7, like that's missing a game's like pivotal.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think, and the amount of cash that he's sitting on as well. Like the last thing you want is just 16 mil just sitting there doing nothing for you for a game or two. So I think you probably just need to use that cash this week if you are an owner of Anthony Edwards. Another injury here for Domantas Sabonis, which means he's day-to-day, so he is very close to returning. But we've seen Drew Eubanks go down for up to 4 weeks now. So good news, I guess, for Raynaud over at Sacramento, who probably should be pretty relevant this week moving forward. Horse, I'll throw to you. What are your thoughts, first of all?
He's a cash generator. So, yeah, almost bottom dollar. He's someone that's probably going to play, I'd say when Sabonis comes back, 15 to 18 minutes a night. I would be a hell of a lot more interested in this if Sabonis gets traded and then he's the man. So if that's the case, fucking awesome. But this could be if you've got like a Nemaz Keta or someone like that who's at however many mil sitting on your bench, and you want to free up some coin, downgrade into him because he's going to play, and then use that cash elsewhere.
What are your thoughts, Matty, on Maxim Braino from the Sacramento Kings?
Yeah, I think Drew Eubanks getting injured might actually be good for the Sacramento Kings because as soon as I said that he was a buy, the man just sucked. I don't know if it's the system or something for Sacramento, but look, Reynard, I think that you can get him, but I'm just so wary of wasting trades on these bottom dollar guys when I really just want to chase the points with, like, you know, getting your Cades on a 4-game week from your Anthony Edwards and moving on these guys to make sure that I maximize the money. That I think I can really only allow that one trade a week, and I think I'd like a little bit more from my trade in. Like, he's going to be playing 30 minutes, which is perfect. That's what I want in a trade-in till Sabonis comes back. But now that Sabonis is training, looking like he's going to be back in the foreseeable future, probably in the next week, I would expect Sabonis to be back. That's what day-to-day means.
Thursday.
Thursday. There you go. Like, what are we, Monday now? Tuesday in America?
Well, that's going to be day one of SuperCoach games as well for this round. So,
true.
we are recording on a Monday. It's 3 days away until...
Reynolds not a trade-in, I don't think. I can't recommend you trade in Reynolds with Sabonis back. But if Sabonis was week to week, then absolutely.
The beauty of it is there, and we'll talk about the break-even soon. I'm sure that'll be a topic of conversation. There is so much cash to make this week that you don't have to get Reynolds. He's not the only guy that's going to make you money. There's a lot of other options there. So... let's have a chat about the rest of the injuries. Trae Young, he's day-to-day. He's about a week away, I would say. He's only just started training, so I think we're pretty safe for JJ for another week. And I guess for me, it probably clears the runway for JJ to be a captaincy option this week. If Trae was closer, I would be concerned. But at the moment, I'm pretty happy to sit on JJ as a captaincy option this week, opposed to Jokic. Zach Edey, 4 to 6 weeks. Matty, you're the Memphis man. Jock Landale gets a bit of burn there, but I reckon Santi Aldama's the one that benefits the most.
Yeah, they're starting Santi, but Jock was great in the last game, especially when you needed a center. I think that the best chance for success is probably Santi at the 4, Jaren Jackson Jr. at the 5. But man, Jock Landale's been so good with his minutes. As a Memphis fan, we can't catch a trick at the moment, can we? Like, Zach Edey's like been a revelation, like been somebody that I've been acquiring league after league as well, and then he just goes and hurts himself. I do think that there's money to be made out of Jock Landale, but the thing is, because Edey's been injured, I think, like, you're not getting the discount that you need out of a cash cow when it comes to SuperCoach.
Yeah. Look, I tend to agree with you. Franz Wagner out 4 to 6 weeks. Probably no one really relevant there aside from Anthony Black, who isn't overly SuperCoach relevant. Giannis is out for 4 weeks, which is great for KPJ and Ryan Rollins and Kyle Kuzma, but you're not buying Kyle Kuzma in SuperCoach. And LaMelo Ball Horse is the last one on this list. We had the conversation around what Charlotte do with LaMelo Ball. I'd be interested to know whether there's any benefit there, SuperCoach-wise. Who benefits from Charlotte?
Con Knipple. 100%. Charlotte looks so much better with him running the show, and that's their future right there.
It's funny because I said to hold Con Knipple last round, and it looked like fucking egg on my face, terrible decision, but maybe it's not that bad. So I guess, something to look at, but fuck, he was good over the last week as well. We haven't obviously had any SuperCoach scoring games per se, but the Patreon subscribers would have seen all of the hard work that Kiz has put in the background where he's gone and calculated those scores for us, in the games off. And Con Knipple was huge. He nearly had another 30-point game today as well. So just this guy's special. He will be the rookie of the year, I think, over Cooper Flagg. And we've seen the potential that this guy has. So I'm super keen on looking at him again potentially when their schedule opens up a little bit more. But boys, we probably should have a chat about the schedule, shouldn't we?
Mm-hmm.
All right, I've got to find a stinger for it. Do we have a stinger for that?
Oh, give us a sting.
Let's just throw something random.
He's heating up.
That was all right. I thought that was okay. Yeah.
You nailed it.
Great call.
Schedule talk. Let's have a chat about the teams on the 2 and the 3 game weeks this week. And of course, it's very relevant because there are 20 teams on the 2 game week. I'm not going to throw a graphic up. I'm going to throw a graphic up for the 10 teams that you need to look at this week. And that's Atlanta, Chicago, Houston Rockets, Miami Heat, Minnesota Timberwolves, the New York Knicks, Sacramento Kings, San Antonio Spurs, Toronto Raptors, and the Washington Wizards. They are all on 3 game weeks. There are only 10 teams on 3 game weeks this week, which means that obviously we're only buying really teams from these 10 players from these 10 teams, Mattrix. But people should beware because just because this week is a 3 game week with a shorter week, every single team on a 3 game week this week also has a 3 game week the week after. So how are you kind of planning what the next fortnight looks like? Are you looking at it from a fortnight perspective, going how many games do they have? Because most teams have the same amount of games.
Yeah, I'm not. I think my trade-ins this week will, like, you guys know I don't forward think. It's going to be the 3 game week is this week and then using those trades to move forward. Yeah, like if you are working from an overall standpoint, yes, but I want the best, and especially in my trades, I want the best schedule this upcoming week. So I'm targeting the three game guys. None of the 3 game guys lead into 4, but I'm just holding the 2 game guys that go into 4, but that's what I'm using my trades for, to just go 3 games. And then to be completely honest, I'm going to do exactly the same thing next week.
Yeah, rate it. There are some teams that go from the 2 into a 3 as well, and I guess they're the teams that you can probably look at. New World Oda, that's a good one. Roland's only 2 this week and only 3 next week, keep or trade. And these are the players you need to consider looking at. I think Roland's is fine for the most part.
I just want to shout this out. Myself and my 5-year-old boy, Harry, at night time, his wind down time is watching NWO Black versus NWO Red and the old WCW days.
Love that. Agree.
Yeah.
I don't know
That's
what you're
good.
talking about.
No, we had to educate Mattrix on the Gold Coast insight trip last year, where we put like 3 hours of WWE on for him, like the old school WWE.
He didn't know who The Rock was. Unreal.
Yeah, criminal stuff.
I fucking hated it.
Yeah. You could tell he just started drinking twice as fast, and that's fucking really impressive for Mattrix because he already has a fucking good pace about the way he drinks. So, yeah. And also, shout out to Kizza. Please get a soundbite of NBA Jam stuff.
Boom shakalaka.
There you go. Yeah. You can have that one. You can have that one for free. So schedule those 10 players. Horse, what's your strategy when it comes to schedule talk this week? Because for me, I'm a little bit worried about over-saturating my team with 3 game week players this week, because then it puts you in a pretty tough spot next week then when you need to then go and get these 4 gamer guys back on.
Yeah, it absolutely does. So while you might be chasing 3 game players this week, there's a lot of the 3 game players this week that are on 3s next week, and there's a lot that are on 4s. So you've got to really weigh up that risk versus reward. I think there's 5 3 game players this week in my squad, but almost every 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, sorry, at the moment. But the majority of my squad have 4 game weeks next week. So I'm willing to take a small bump or a small downturn this week in order to get a bigger bump next week.
I'm with you on that. All right, let's move on to the hot topics this week. And hot topics always, every week, brought to you by Ryan from Astute Newstead. For those of you who have a home loan rate of above 5.4%, maybe you want to buy your first home or you want to save some money like the rest of us. And Ryan is your man, does all the heavy lifting. He's got over 40 lenders on panel, including all of the major banks, to get you the best deal. And the best part is it does not cost you a cent. He does it for free. There is absolutely no obligation as well. So if you want to get in touch with Ryan, the link is in the description below. And boys, the hot topic for this week, we're talking about, I guess, the cheapies and the players that we need to target this week when it comes to making cash. Now, it might be a pretty straight up argument, really, but when it comes to break evens, Mattrix, Ryan Nembhard, currently 4.78 million. If anybody didn't jump on, they missed 1.3 mil last week. I'd imagine he wasn't exactly that popular. but he has a negative 50 break even this week. So he can literally walk on the court and make what's his projected this week? Because he's projected to make 1.1 million. It's not a bad target. What do you think?
Yeah. Doesn't even, projected to score 23 points this week.
So there you go. So he's projected to score 23. He's definitely going to exceed that, I would assume, based on how he's been playing. Yeah. Matt, are you keen? Are you keen on Ryan Nembhard?
Do you guys have him? I know Braino does.
I do.
Yeah. He's got to be the number one brought-in player this week. I'll show you. Think with what's been going in Dallas, you 100% have to bring him in. Like, we've been waiting for a point guard to step up. We're willing to pay $9 million for D'Angelo Russell because we needed a point guard from this team. And you can get it 4.7 that's going to generate a heap of cash. Like, whether you play him or whether you don't, but I think you can play him. I think, like, people like Reed Shepherd and Ryan Nembhard, you can, like, just roll with the schedule, see who's on the form game weeks and play them. I can't actually see a disadvantage to buying him this week.
Do you wear the sauce?
Maybe. I'm not entirely sold. I know he's got a negative 50 break even, but I've got the likes of Walsh, Queen, Tyson on my bench at the moment that are making massive coin. If I did bring him in, I'd definitely bench him this week. He's got 2 games, and one of them is against Detroit, who are one of the top teams to guard guards in this league. So when we're talking potential point scoring this week, it won't be great, but definite cash to be made.
I think he's still a pretty good buy. And I mean, look, a lot of people are going to be doing Reed Shepherd to Ryan Nembhard. And you know, I guess it just depends on how you feel about Reed Shepherd, because for the most part, I think his cash gen is borderline done now that he's back on the bench. His minutes are down. You know, they've shown us what that starting 5 looks like for the most part, and he's now not a part of it with KD back. He was great without KD, but with KD there, he was back into a normal role, right? So, I think Nembhard in for Reed Shepherd will be popular this week. Kevin Porter Jr. as well at negative 42 break even. Maybe this one will tickle your fancy a little bit more, Horse. Proven performer, no Giannis, and has put up arguably like 15, 16, 17 mil type player scores. He's put up a couple of 40-point NBA SuperCoach scores since he's been back.
Yeah, I like this move more than the Nembhard move. So he's got a negative break even. He's been scoring like not so much like a primo, and today he shit the bed a little bit. But this is someone that I feel comfortable making cash out of and playing on the court at the same time. Yes, he's only got 2 this week, but favourable in the way that the offense runs through him and Ryan Rollins. There's plenty of opportunities for assists, out of position boards, points, and he's even today 4 steals I think he got. So he's getting those defensive numbers as well. So this is my number 1 buy of the week if you don't have him.
And his name's Kevin as well. How can you not buy a player in the NBA named Kevin? Like, it's the most Australian name ever.
Probably the best
Christmas time with Home Alone coming up.
Exactly.
Yeah. The best thing I think as well about this is if you've got Reed Shepherd, it costs you 1.3 mil to go sideways from him into KPJ, and you got yourself a starter.
Yeah, I think it's a bit of a no-brainer personally. I know that Milwaukee's schedule isn't exactly amazing over the next couple of weeks, but at the same time, I think you could comfortably play him on a 3-game week and know you're going to probably get 80 from him. So, really like what he's doing so far. Definitely going to make you very, very a good amount of money. Pat Spencer is next, Mattrix, negative 37 break-even. So he's got the 3rd most negative break-even, 4.9 mil. I mean, people are going to probably have to choose between Nembhard and Pat Spencer, really, and I think it's a pretty easy decision, but could you be tempted into both?
I think he's frozen.
He's frozen. That was a really good question. It's made him think. Horse, how about you, mate? I'll throw to you because Mattrix has got some internet dramas going on there. Pat Spencer.
Pat Spencer. I don't think so. I do like his role, but yeah, I think there's better elsewhere. Let's talk about Jordan Walsh. I like Jordan Walsh.
Yep, go for it.
No, I like him.
Oh, you just like him. Cool. I mean, look, we can talk about him.
We've got similar hairstyles, but when you're talking a bloke like Jordan Walsh, his defensive numbers are great. His field goal percentages are really good. He takes smart shots. He gets boards. He gets assists, albeit small. But more importantly, Braino, he doesn't turn the ball over. So when he's shooting it well from the field and he's not turning the ball over, there's no negative stats. So while he might only score 14, 15 points a game, get 4 rebounds, get a couple of steals, that might be 22, 23 points. But because he's only missing 1 or 2 shots and getting no turnovers, those points that he is getting are sticking. So, yeah, that's why I really like Walsh. And he's got a defined role.
He's on a bit of a heater at the moment, and I'm always wary about kind of fringe guys like this on heaters. Like he is shooting like 60% from 3. The bloke just cannot miss. And that's my concern, is that as soon as I buy him, it's like a curse, and he's going to go back to shooting 33%. And, you know, for me, I'm looking at him going, okay, is he elite in every other area? And the answer is not really. He's good. He's okay in other areas. He'll get you 3-4 boards, maybe. He'll get you a stock. Maybe you'll get the occasional block. He's a very good on-ball defender, but he just sits in the corner for as a catch and shoot guy. And some teams probably won't kiss it, to be honest. So you're safe there. But yeah, for me, I'm looking at it going, well, I don't know whether he's my favourite cheapie buy of the week, but it makes it tough because I've already got Kevin Porter Jr. I've already got Nembhard. So I'm just trying to maybe I can capitalise this week and get ahead of the grain a little bit and trade Primo for a bit. Because my cash gen's pretty good. I've just clicked over 200 mil total value as well. So I feel like mine's pretty solid. I don't know where you guys are at, but mine's pretty solid.
That's a good topic of conversation too. Mine is 203 million.
Yeah. So it looks like around that. I'd love to know what other people's team value is in the chat. Let us know. But I think we're looking around that 200 mil is probably like a ballpark figure on where you should be or where you should be close to. Because then you can start going primo to primo with that cash that you've made. So, and we're only in week 8. This is a 23-week competition, right? Like we've got so much time. If you keep chasing these cheapies, we're going to have players start sit decisions on whether you play Wemby versus bloody Giannis at the end of the season potentially if you're making moves like this and making good cash. So
that's the point.
Mattrix, you were frozen. You must have been shocked because I asked you about Pat Spencer. You must really like him. Talk to me.
Oh yeah, the poor brother. Look, I like him. The role seems to be there for him. I don't know, like just in this Golden State team, I think like Buddy Hield will have that game he goes off. Certain people will have those games where he goes off. I'm just not sure Golden State is the team I want to target for my cheapies. Like Kuminga has a good game. Then they're just like Steve Kerr has showed that he's just going to play the guys that are going to play. I probably do prefer his brother's role, to be honest. So
yeah,
today Draymond Green was back. D'Anthony Melton started playing again. I feel like he's going to fall down the depth chart a little bit there.
Yeah, and I would probably even argue that Moses Moody, aka Modi Muzi, is probably still ahead of him in this rotation as well. Like like. There's just so many guys, and I think you're right. D'Anthony Melton definitely throws a spanner in the works there for Pat Spencer for sure. Matty, while I've got you, mate, Jalen Wells, Cam Spencer, talk to us. There's 2 Memphis guys, 5th and 6th at the moment. Negative 30 break even for Jalen Wells, negative 27 for Cam Spencer. Tempted by either?
Jalen Wells has the better role. Cam Spencer, I feels like on like a heater. But I still think that he's the 4th or 3rd string point guard on this team. Which is great for cash generation. But I'm going to pick the starter. I'm going to pick the guy that's been on an absolute tear in Jalen. So,
yeah, that's completely fair. Maxim Reynaud, we've already talked about him. He's got a negative 20 break even coming up this week. He'll be popular, I'm sure. Derek Queen with a negative 16, Walter Clayton with a negative 16, and Jalen Tyson with a negative 15. Horse, you're a Tyson man, not just in SuperCoach, but also when we're talking fantasy. 8.87 million though. Has the ship sailed somewhat for Jalen Tyson?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, so Tyson is what we would call a cash generator, and if you're buying him at that price, you're probably not going to get the cash that you need out of him versus going a Nembhard, for example. You're going to make your 4 or 5 mil out of Nembhard, no worries. Tyson, yeah, the role's there, but Allen's just come back. Mobley's probably back in, 3 weeks? Mattrix. Yes, he gets you out of position rebounds, but the offense revolves around Mitchell and Garland, even though Garland's been on a bit of a shitter lately.
Any love for Danny Wolf? He's probably the last guy maybe that I'd look at. -8 break even, Matty?
I mean, there is some love for him. I just don't know how much growth is there. Like, wasn't even playing minutes at the start of the year, and as they sort of he has been on a heater and he's went on an excellent, a nice little run. But yeah, I won't be wasting a trade on Danny Wolf.
Yeah, since he's been relevant, he had that breakout game where he scored 22. He's gone 13, 7, 20, and 10. So it seems like maybe the role's solidified somewhat as something off the bench, as 20 minutes off the bench for Brooklyn, which is fine. Which is fine. But at the same time, it's not an optimal role. It's definitely not a slam dunk pick by any means. So there's a bit of risk involved.
On a slow news week, Danny Wolf is something that you can bring in. But I think with your Wells and your Spencers, even though I'm not super high on some of them, they're still better than Danny Wolf.
I love how you said and your Spencers, and I automatically knew you were talking about two separate players. That was good.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You've podcasted with me for a while.
Yeah. All right, let's move into the trade targets for week 8.
Targets acquired.
Few targets to acquire this week. Ryan Nembhard and Kevin Porter Jr. at the top of the list, boys, so we don't need to touch on them. We've already given our opinions on them. Alperen Şengün Horse is number 3 on the list. 18% of the top 1% are trading him in this week. I think you might be one of them. Am I right?
I am. Yep.
What's the appeal? Talk to us.
He's a point center. He's baby Jokic, and the matchups that he's got this week too are quite intriguing to me. So when we're talking, let's get in. He's got New Orleans Pelicans, so that's a direct matchup with Derek Queen. I really like that. And then he's got Denver. That's not great against Jokic, although he can stretch the floor a little bit. And then he's got Sacramento, who have next to Sweet FA. So 3-game week, I think he scores really well in 2 games and probably just average in another, but that should be enough to get him over 100 this week.
I'm looking at his scores, and he's got a couple of big boppers in here. There's a 46 in game 1, there's a 51 against Portland in week 4, and then there's a 55 last week against Utah. And look, yeah, fair enough. Utah, Yusuf Nurkic isn't really going to keep up with him too much. Kyle Filipowski's not stopping him. Portland, Donovan Clingan, I think he might have even missed that game. So, so when we're looking at the matchups this week, Derek Queen, good matchup. But at the same time, you've got to come up against Jokic. That's not going to be easy. And Domantas Sabonis should be back for Sacramento come next Monday. So, that might be a tougher matchup than first thought. But I do like Şengün on a 3-game week. And the Rockets do become mini-relevant just for now, just for this week, maybe get on, get off. Until their schedule opens up. I think it's week 11, so we've got a little bit more time left to bide before we jump on the Rockets, but I do like Şengün. Jalen Johnson is number 4 on the list. Completely understand it. Also, boys, we might even just ruin the captaincy segment right now because Jalen Johnson in the top 1% is 38.8% captained for week 8. So people are going against Jokic. Mattrix, you're probably one of those people that won't be captaining Jokic this week. Is JJ a front runner?
Yeah, I can go Giannis to basically anyone. And Jaren Jackson Jr. playing the Hornets, who I don't know, can't defend the Spurs. Who's gonna defend him? Harrison Barnes. And the Bulls, who they can't even defend their own shadow at the moment. It's Jaren Jackson Jr. for me. It's Jalen Johnson. Sorry, JJ. Wrong one.
Jalen Johnson, Jaren Jackson Jr.
There's a lot going on, man.
There is.
Yeah.
There is.
JJ is a better pick than.
Yeah, JJ is way better than JJJ.
Yeah. JJ is better than Triple J at the moment. And there's 2 Triple Js, which is the worst thing. When we're talking about the Jack Jumpers.
Yeah, not Jaime Jaquez from Miami. No, we'll leave him. We'll leave him for another chat. Victor Wembanyama is the 5th most purchased horse. I understand why. I get it. I am not going there personally, just because I know 22 million is a lot of money. They're still going to be bringing him back off the bench for the most part. I think he's probably got this role for another week or 2. They've brought him back. I reckon they brought him back early, and the reason for that is for the NBA Cup. That is the only reason they've brought him back early. So
absolutely.
are you steering clear for now?
Yes, I am. We spoke about it on a previous podcast. I think he rests one game this week. So all up, when we're talking NBA fantasy, the San Antonio Spurs have 4 games in 7 days. And coming back from that calf and being on a minutes restriction, I cannot see him playing all games this week. So there's going to be one. He'll play the NBA Cup final, which doesn't count. But then into the Thursday, Friday, back-to-back, I believe it is. I reckon there's one of those games he's missing.
And that's very relevant for SuperCoach because, of course, that is the first 2 games of the week, right, for week 8. So if you're banking on Wemby to play 3 games this week, I reckon I could almost put my house on it that he won't. And that's a dangerous thing to say on a public podcast. But I don't think he plays the back-to-back. I think he plays one. So let's see how that all pans out and whether I've still got a home to come home week. Anthony Edwards is the 6th most purchased. We were talking about him as a potential sell for owners. So that's an interesting one. Obviously, people have maybe just not kept up with injuries and what's been happening since the time off. But obviously, a bit touch and go with that foot injury. So definitely proceed with caution on Anthony Edwards. Raynard, we've already given our opinion on. He's the 7th most purchased. Denny Avdia sits at number 8, Mattrix. He has been awesome this year and honestly nearly one of my best purchases so far this season. 31 break even, so he'll still make you some money as well next week. Portland, they're only on a 2-game week this week. So, I mean, are people just chasing money knowing they're getting a primo? Because Portland's schedule is fucking awesome the next 3 weeks after this.
4-4s afterwards. I think that they're burning a trade this week, maybe tanking this week a little bit too. And, like, you still make some money. Like, you make some money this week playing a guy on a 2-game week and then going forward. Like, trust me, I've thought about it. Like, I'm not a Denny Avdia owner, and I wish I owned him. Man, like, he's been unreal.
Both his games against Sacramento too.
Yeah, that's hot. I mean, there's a lot to like. And also, can we say, we haven't mentioned it yet, but shout out to SuperCoach HQ for adding in the total amount of games on each player's player card. That is elite areas, man. They've outdone themselves. Well done. Well done to SuperCoach.
They've outdone themselves. They've added something that should have been there to start off with, but thanks for catching up, guys.
Yeah, that's why I said they've outdone themselves, because usually they don't do the basics. So it's good that they've gone and done that, because now, like, and I guess we've got to look at it from a perspective of getting more casual players to play the game, more people that want to play, and it just makes it easier for people that don't want to, dive into fucking analysis from podcasts and all that kind of stuff. The player basing improves, and eventually they get hooked and they come and watch Ball Logic, and then everyone wins.
You just lost us 400 views by adding the schedule.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I need to talk to Mark Barnes or Tom Sangster, but I'll find a guy.
Take it back. Tim Mitchell will look after us. Carl Anthony Towns is the last one, Horse. He is on the cover of this episode, so it'd be rude not to talk about him. 10th most purchased, 33% owned currently by the top teams, 18.2 mil. Hot and cold. I can't get a read on Cat.
Neither. I'm an owner, and I hate it. He's a difficult watch. But the whole offense...
Theo's keen.
The whole offense runs through Jalen Brunson. And there are periods throughout a game where it is Jalen Brunson. He gets the ball with 24 seconds left on the shot clock, and Jalen Brunson still has the ball with 3 seconds left on the shot clock. So from a SuperCoach owner point of view, it can be very frustrating. Who's he got this week? That might give us a bit of an indication as to
Indiana in game 1.
Okay.
So that's not a bad matchup for him. Philly in game 2, depending on whether it's Embiid or Drummond. And then Miami in game 3.
So that's Bam, isn't it?
Yeah. Bam or Khalil Ware.
Yeah. I don't mind it. If it's against Drummond, I like that matchup a lot more than Embiid, but that's a fairly good week.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all. It's just hard to get a read on whether he's going to come out and dominate, because when he does, he's great. He comes out and puts up 15 boards and scores 27 points and does everything. But at the same time, then he'll come out and do next to nothing in the next game. So, it's tough.
It kind of depends on which, and it's so weird, which Cat turns up. I just think there's a bit of head noise with him, and kind of which JB turns up too. And
also if Mitch Robinson's fit.
Yeah, I don't even know if that matters. I think Mitch Robinson's a 22 per night guy for the next 5 years.
Probably. Let's have a chat about trade outs, eh? Reed Shepherd, gone. 37 or 38% of the top 1% trading him. I completely understand that. The role's gone.
Yeah.
Even though he is on a 3-game week this week, I would probably urge a trade. Even on the 3-game week, I wouldn't be holding him.
No point in playing a 3-game or a 3-game player if he's only going to play 18 to 20 minutes and do fuck all with those minutes.
It's going to be the equivalent of about 1.5 games for any other player. So, not ideal. Con Knipple is looking like a trade as well for a lot of people, 9.5 mil. They held on for a week. They weren't impressed. They got the shits and then they're flicking him. I would honestly urge people to reconsider that. Just with LaMelo. Just the news on LaMelo and just working out when he's going to be back and how that's all going to play out. Just get some news on LaMelo first before you make a call on Con. People are trading out Luka Doncic, 21.7 mil. I assume they're trying to get the money for Wemby or they're trying to get the cash for someone else. But Luka on a 2-game week could honestly put up a 3-game week score this week.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's more the 3 games trailing with 3-3-3 the next little bit. Like if you had to pinpoint or if you're like a big planner when it comes to SuperCoach, this is the week to trade Luka. I completely understand.
Yeah, he's got a couple of nice games this week. It's Utah into the Clippers. So he could put up some big scores, but in saying that, I agree with the take, yeah.
You're right. Like, looking at the schedule and looking at the 2 sitting there, you trade him. But, like, it'd be perfectly fine if you traded him next week if you had something a little bit more pressing.
For sure, 100%. But again, he's not going to lose a bulk amount of cash this week anyway. He's got to break even at 52, so he'll potentially make money this week, Luka.
Yeah.
And then you can move him next week if you need to. But yeah, I understand the point. I'd just be cautious if people are going Luka into Wemby. You're going to get the same amount of gains from both. So be careful there. Ryan Rollins, people are off him. I'd urge people to think twice about trading Ryan Rollins as well with Giannis out. I think he'll still be good. I know KPJ's come in and taken away that major usage from him, but I still think he's going to be pretty serviceable moving forward. And he's only got a 28 break even.
Still money to be made.
Milwaukee's schedule isn't great though. So I'm not going to talk you out of trading Ryan Rollins, but you could argue to hold. Dennis Jenkins, he can go. That's fine. Ace Bailey, you know what? I'm not going to talk you out of that either. He can go. People are trading Tyrese Maxey. He's the 8th most sold at the moment, Horse.
Yeah, I get that.
Philly's schedule is pretty ordinary. Yeah.
One of the worst schedules in the next 3 weeks.
And then VJ Edgecombe and Giannis are the next 2, which is completely fine. I think there's a lot of them there that I won't talk you out of. But yeah, maybe think twice on Luka to Wemby if you are making that trade this week. Mm-hmm. Let's have a chat about captaincy to finish up.
Are you ready, kids?
Aye, aye, Captain!
Now, I'm not even going to talk about Jokic this week. Usually it's just Captain Jokic. Nah, that's boring. Let's get spicy. Jalen Johnson, 38.8% is the obvious option. Jokic is still 49% captain in the top 1% of teams. So now I reckon this week is the week to find a differential and find your little advantage. People are captaining Wemby. No, not for me. Not with 2 games.
No,
who would you go?
2-game week's super hard to captain someone. Like it's hard to dilute it. Like I'm not even wanting to captain Jokic on a 3-game week.
What about
JJ's the pick, right?
JJ's got to be the pick. What about baby Jokic? Horse?
Mm-hmm.
Keen?
Yep, very keen.
I mean, 2.4% of the top 1% of teams are captaining him, so this is Horse's week to go from 7th to 1st if it fucking comes off. I'll tell you that much.
Jump on board, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go for a ride.
And then Karl Anthony Towns is the 5th most captained at 0.3%. I'm not going there. Not a chance.
No.
But I think you do need, you do need to take on one of those 3-game week guys.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Yep. This week's the week. Make some ground. Don't be safe. Have a crack.
Love it. That'll do us, eh? That'll wrap us up. Week 8, of course, as we are recording this one, week 8 is still 3 days away, so there's a lot to happen in between now and then. So, of course, if there are any major changes, we'll let our Patreon subscribers know. If you want to become one of those, you can jump in. The link is in the description below to get involved and less than $10 a month, and that'll get you all of our articles, buy, hold, sell, captaincy. We're going to start writing up an article on defense against position as well. So that'll give you a bit more of insight into, I guess, the numbers that you need to know to make your final trade decisions if you are stuck on A versus B. So that'll come out throughout the next couple of days. And of course, as a reminder, guys, NBA SuperCoach Week 8 starts this Thursday, Australian Thursday. So you don't have to worry about the next 2 days of NBA. We'll be back Thursday for the first game of Week 8. It is only a 4-day week. So that is why you'll see a lot of teams on 2 and 3 games.
It's important to know that. Only Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, isn't it, Braino?
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry.
5-day week. So we've
week.
missed the first 2 days of a normal week being what would be tomorrow and the next day.
Yep. So it is important to know that just because this week is starting on Thursday doesn't mean it's going through to next Thursday and SuperCoach realigns. It is only going for 5 days, and we will be available to trade next Monday night. So please be wary.
Yep, everything resets after this week. Guys, thanks for tuning in. Hit the subscribe, the like, give it a thumbs up, hit the hype button, do all those things to help us grow the show. We'd appreciate that. And we will see you for next week's Week 9 preview. Good luck this week. Catch you then.